What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian, in the place to be. We got the pregame meal coming for you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're going to go ahead and jump on this thing real quick and talk about a few things that are going to happen today with these Falcons collecting that first dub. So before we go ahead and get this thing started, hit that like and subscribe button for us so we can go ahead and keep bringing you the shows that we bring you with the veracity and the funk that we do. Sit back and relax. It's the pregame meal, y'all. Welcome to the pregame meal. You already know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. This is the time where I actually take off my analyst side of things and I become a fan just like you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about a few things today with the pregame meal. Welcome today to the pregame meal. Once again, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and we definitely appreciate that. I see a lot of positive things that's going to happen today. The Falcons are definitely in a spot where today is a day that you can actually put your stamp on everything that you've done this offseason. And when we look at all the moves that were made, everything that was done in a positive direction, there's so many things that we as fans are definitely looking forward to and we have expectations of. Today is a day that, hey, Kirk Cousins, you're here. We know it's going to take you a drive or two to get into the swing of things because you didn't play in the preseason, but we expect for you to be in a rhythm where you got things going. What's going on, Carlos? We honestly see a lot of things that's happening right now with the Falcons on the offseason. And this is just one of those things where we just have so many things that's happening at this point. Oh, man. We see the moves that were made, some of the injuries that took place, and it's just like, okay, Raheem is still in a good place where he has a lot going. And so at this point, I'm just looking at it like, okay, Terry, you've put all your chips in. We see what you're going to do. But right now, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, let's go ahead and hit this thing. Let's go ahead and hit this thing up. It's nothing like Falcons football on a Sunday. Terry, all the hard work you've put in, now it's time for you to sit back, relax, and just enjoy it at this point. Raheem, it's your time to step up, man. All the hype that we've had during the press conferences, all the great soliloquies that we've had, it's time for you to step up. We got to do some things today. And all I can say is at this point, I already got my money on you. I believe in you. I believe you're going to do what you say you're going to do. I just got to see it. I got to see it, bro. I'm one of these Falcon fans that definitely love all the moves that we've had in the offseason. Some of them, one or two, I probably was like, scratch my head. But then I sat back and said, okay, it's time to trust that process. And this is just one of those things where all I can say is it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is Pittsburgh is in town, and we got something for them. We've had to hear all the stuff from Arthur Smith this offseason. And the stuff that we've heard from Arthur Smith has been more of a chatter. And most of the chatter that we've had, it's been more so him throwing shots. The shot that I actually looked at was mainly just like, okay, quarterback play would have been better. Raheem wouldn't be here. But I'm glad that the quarterback play was horrible because guess what? You're here. Raheem, you're here. So with his screw ups, gave us this opportunity for you to move this franchise in a better direction. We see what's happening. I'm not, like I said, this is a segment. I'm just speaking as a fan right now. I'm not, the guys in the back, they're going to do their thing later today. And we're in a spot where we're looking at it like, okay, this is our moment. This is the time for us to put the NFL on notice. We've already got them talking. Some are pissed, some are actually rooting for us. But this is the game that you make a statement. You're going against a NFL blue blood in the Pittsburgh Steelers today. This is where you make your name for yourself. Not just you, Kirk Cousins, not just you, Raheem Morris, not just Terry Fontenot. Let's talk about it. Jimmy Lake, you're a first-year defensive coordinator. You're in a spot to, guess what? You got to make this thing happen, baby. You're taking over a top 10 defense from last year that had the #1 red zone defense in the league. You've got a chance to enhance that defense and put your stamp on it. You got a chance to do that. You got Jerry Gray right there that's going to be right alongside you, helping those cornerbacks, and in the secondary, helping those guys help your front seven with that pass rush. Today is a day that the NFL got to respect us. We here. Ain't no more talk. We here. As Larry Holmes once said, when he got in the fight with Jerry Cooney, he said it just like this. With all the hoopla and all the hype that happened before the fight, it don't mean anything. All the bullshit go out the window when the bell is rung. Let's just be real. I'm sorry to say it like that, but I got to quote it just how it is. The bullshit go out the window when the bell is rang. Period. I feel like this. Defense is going to come up with about 4 sacks today, 2 interceptions. And I also have Kirk Cousins throwing 2 touchdowns today. Tyler Algier getting one touchdown, and Bijan Robinson possibly getting a touchdown on the ground or through the air. One of those 2 is going to happen today. I see a lot of positive movement that's going to happen. Zach Robinson, this your first time in the chair, baby. Let's go. You got all these toys to play with. You have all the toys to play with right now. You have everything in your back pocket right now. No one knows anything, not even your own fans. We don't know anything. And guess what? While we don't know anything, it's pretty much going to be one of those situations where you sit back and just say, well, damn, I can actually play this to my advantage. You have a top NFL defense that has not missed the playoffs or had a bad record since Raheem Morris has taken over. You got a chance to put your foot right between their hip pockets today. I see it. I believe in it. We definitely saw some of the wrinkles in the preseason with some of our backups, but I think it's going to be more crisp and more sharp today. I see Ray McLeod having a big day today. Unfortunately, Casey Washington is inactive, but we got Chris Blair that's active. Shout out to Prairie View A&M Zone, Mr. Chris Blair. You know, the last time we had a Prairie View A&M guy that started for us or even had playing time was the legendary Jim Mitchell, rest in peace, one of the unicorn and greatest tight ends in the Falcons history, and he balled out the first time he stepped on the field. I expect that today when you use Chris Blair. I expect that today when you use Drake London. I expect that today when you use these guys. There's a lot of things that we have in our back pocket, and it's a lot of things that we're going to do well today. We just got to execute. Offensive line, I'll say this. We know you're going to run block. I got to see you pass blocking today. I see so many perfect things that are going to happen. A lot of perfect things that are going to happen today. But, again, we just got to make sure, having a little bit of camera issue, so hold up. So now I'm actually going to use my logo right now, just while I'm fixing this camera. I apologize. But I see so many things that's happening today. We have so much to look forward to today, period. And honestly, it's just in how we're going to react to what happens to us when we get hit. Are we going to fold? I don't believe so. I challenge the fans today. The fans that are in that stadium today, do not, I repeat, do not let Pittsburgh make this like Western Pennsylvania. They in Atlanta, Georgia, baby. They got to understand they in our house. Our house. It's time for us to actually make people uncomfortable with coming in our house. It's time for us to make these folks realize that this ain't the same Atlanta you used to come to where you can take over the stadium. It don't work like that. Hell no. It's time for us to make these folks respect us as fans. The front office has already given us stuff. Now it's time for the fans to go ahead and get into his. It's time to be rowdy. It's time to be rude. It's time to be nasty today. Don't sit there and clap. Sit there and berate folks. Say some things. Let them know that we're not a bougie, sedity type of city. I'm just saying. I get it, some folks in here that are they're dressed up like they going to the club tonight. But hey, I grew up during the crunk era, baby. I grew up during the Lil Jon era. When you went to the club, you knew a fight was going to break out. This is the type of environment we need. We don't need these sedity, I'm going to snap my fingers and do my step type of bullshit. No, hell no. Let's make this thing rowdy today, man. For all the fans that's up in here, you definitely got to make these folks respect us. The best way that I can describe it is if you live through the Atlanta hip hop movement, you understand what it's like to fight for respect. Anybody that's 35 and up, you know what I'm talking about. Where you got laughed at, you got clowned, you got called old country ass so-and-so. You know what I mean? When Outkast was doing their thing, Goody Mob was doing their thing. Let's be real. We pretty much got that same type of chance to make an impact on the NFL with the Falcons this way. You have a historic city in Atlanta, Georgia. You have Arthur Blank, who definitely is one of these owners that's willing to spend this money. You have Raheem Morris, the first black coach in our franchise history. You got Terry Fontenot, first black GM in our franchise history. Guess what? It's time to let them know the South got something to say. You didn't make moves in the off seasons to look like clowns today. We have a lot that we got going for us, period. I see so many things that are going to happen on a positive light. It's just so many things that we all talk about and we all look forward to, and we all see that the Falcons are definitely not the Falcons of old. Today is the day we got to put Justin Fields on his back. Justin Fields, local kid, he's played Atlanta twice. He showed out twice. Today is the day that he does not come into our house and have a good day. We got to make it rough for him. Troy Anderson, Zach Harrison, Arnold Ebiketie, Nate Landman. My guy is starting, Wallace. I hope you saw that. Nate Landman is playing. All I'm going to say is this. Y'all got one job today outside of stopping that run with Najee Harris. Go ahead. Everybody want to put belt to asses. I'm not putting no belt to an ass. No, I want to put my boot to ass. Boots to asses today. We need you to go ahead and help get these sacks today. We need 4. I named a couple of guys. I expect a sack from each one today. Grady Jarrett, welcome back, big fella. We are happy to have you back home. You gonna anchor this defensive line, you and David Onyemata. Onyemata. We need you guys to anchor this D-line today. You guys are going to be the cornerstone of what we do, right along with Eddie Goldman. We got 3 guys that can play on the interior. Ruka Roro, Mr. Roll the Boat. We gonna roll the boat. He's not playing today, unfortunately. He's inactive. But guess what? Taquan Graham, you'll be coming in on that rotation. We have all the pieces to win the ball game today. We just got to execute. And execution, I feel, is in the new nature, the new culture. Fast, physical, and aggressive. Today is the day we start to outrun the South. New Orleans ain't got an answer for us. Carolina don't have an answer for us. And the Buccaneers don't have an answer for us. Today is our day to make this happen. Today is our day to make this work. It's time to sit back and enjoy. All the anticipation has been there. And my favorite area that I'm going to be looking for, and it's near and dear to my heart, it's the safety position. You see the man that's behind me. I got Jesse Bankhead Bates behind me. And I got the sign, as you can see. Old school sign, by the way. I'll give you this. Justin Simmons, we know what Bankhead Bates is going to do. Let's see what you're going to do in this defense for us. Let's see what you're going to have for us today. Let's see how you're actually going to fit in with this defense today. I expect a lot out of you. We got you, and we got Mr. Judon. But that back end is what I'm really going to be focused on, because we got two veteran players who are Pro Bowlers and definitely are feared. We definitely look for you guys to control the secondary. We look for you guys to control those airways. That no-fly zone, AJ got help this time. He's got another competent safety covering him on whatever side of the field he's on. That number 2 spot, Mike Hughes, I'm letting you know now, you're wearing 21. That's a hallowed number, sir. Just like wearing 31. Justin Simmons, that's a hallowed number. 31 is from William Andrews, one of the greatest Falcons of all time. You better live up to that expectation. You have that number now. You must live up to playing big-time football. Mike Hughes, I don't need to even mention who wore number 21. You know it's a standard at that cornerback spot if you're wearing that number and you playing in this city. It's a standard. So you better live up to that standard, bro. Clark Phillips III, we hadn't forgot about you. We definitely look to see you and Mr. D. Alford today get in on the rotation and also make some big things happen. We got Mr. King in the secondary today. Plan on seeing some big things from him today because he's going to be in the rotation as well. There's so much positivity and a lot of juice going on in this city. It's just a lot. It's a lot of positive stuff going on. And until this happens right now, this is how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be getting this is the exact reactions we're supposed to have at the beginning of a season. There's no hanging my head out how much the Falcons are gonna lose by. Hell no. Different regime, different energy. Guess what? We winning today. That's what you're gonna hear around the city. We winning today. We gonna win this ball game. And this is what it's gonna be like every week. You got a competent coach, you got competent players, and now we have something to cheer for. We have something to, man. Hey, I'm poking my chest out for this one. I always stood 10 toes down for my birds. Good, bad, or ugly, even when I criticize them. But guess what? You stand a little bit taller today because you actually got to see the competency that was put into what we have right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I've already had my couple of minutes to myself to where I put this out for you guys. For the fans that are out here that want to come on screen, you can, because I just posted the link in the chat. Let's hear from you, because this is a part of the segment, because we can't get you on every Thursday, but what we can do, pregame show like this, and also in the party line that we're going to have later on today, that's your chance to come in here, talk about what you like, you dislike, what you want to see from the Falcons today, and what are your expectations of this season. So I put the link in the chat. I'm going to do that also on Twitter for the followers that we have on Twitter. Shout out to those folks there. Shout out to our fans on Facebook as well. We're definitely going to put this out today. But man, it's just all I can say is just a beautiful movement today. It is a beautiful movement today. And I'm just ready for these Falcons to go ahead and beat these Steelers. You know, I got some Steeler fans that I know personally. I've been having to hear that mouth all year. You know, and it's just like, okay, we'll see. Y'all got to come to our house. And all I can say is, well, damn, let's go ahead and make this thing happen. And let's go ahead and just open this thing up, because it's a lot of humble pie that's getting ready to get passed out this year. A lot of humble pie that's about to get passed out. So I've posted that link. So if you want to come in here, chime in on some other things, I'm going to also talk about a little something that's going on right now too. Tyreek Hill was in cuffs before the ball game down in Duval. How does that happen? How do you get arrested before the ball game? Well, you know what? I can't sit there and say that because Eugene Robinson got caught up in some mess too at one point. And I like Cheetah. I like Tyreek Hill. That's one of my favorite players in the league. I just don't like him when he's playing against the Falcons. But I will say this. He's still slated to play today. He's still slated to play today. So with Tyreek Hill being out there, I'll be honest with you. I think he's going to probably have a hell of a game when you sit back and you look at it because you got him in cuffs before the game. He's going to be pissed off. He's going to be rearing and ready to go. And it's just going to be one of those things where you just sit back and say, Lord, just pray for them defensive backs because this boy getting ready to just take them to school. He's getting ready to take them to school. And the worst thing that you can have at this point is a pissed off Tyreek Hill. But, hey, not our problem. I'm fine with it. Now, looking at the matchup predictor today on ESPN, I'm going to pull it up for you guys so you guys can see it as well. Give me a moment. And I want to welcome those who just came in here just now. One sec. Got to pull this up for you guys. We have a 55% chance of winning this ball game. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up for you guys right here. So according to ESPN, we have a 55, almost 60% chance of winning this ball game today. So that should tell you something when you look at that right here. But ESPN saying great things. We're saying it, but we have to execute. We have to make the environment loud. We have to do the things that we're supposed to do today. For all you people that love gambling, the gambling odds today, the spread for Pittsburgh is +4. We have -4, as you can see. And again, it's still a toss-up game because it's the first game of the season. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to see. At this point, all you can do is just sit back, relax, and just enjoy at this point. If you haven't made your bets, go ahead and put that money down on the Falcons. Go ahead and make that bet because it's a safe bet today. And we got one of our regulars in here that I argue with all the time, but he's one of my favorites. I love him to death like a big brother / uncle.
What's going on with you, Ryan? What's good?
Man, I've been missing having you up in here going back and forth with you, bro. I know you've been busy. I'm surprised you ain't at the game today, man.
Yeah, I was going, but them ticket price a little too high for me this time.
Man, I definitely understand.
Man, they want $500-600. That's just
what's
for
going
one
on,
ticket.
MW, the franchise player. So here's a question because you and I we go back and forth. Now you tried to give me some grief the other night in the party about Lamb. I said Lamb was one of my X factors, and I knew he was gonna play.
Yeah,
and it was just a day-to-day thing, and I understand what they were doing. But I get where you were saying I don't think he's gonna play, but Lamb ain't gonna miss a snap. You got to remember that's a Colorado guy. He wasn't a highly touted guy. And we got everything. I see the boys got some energy today.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I think Nate Lamb is gonna play today.
It's okay. He hyped up just like all the rest of us, man. I love it.
Yeah, but it's about time for us to give Pittsburgh a butt whooping because they got us in the record wise for us, beating us. So it's about time we get another win.
But you got to remember, and you're old enough to remember when that Steel Curtain was around back in the day, and when they first started. Remember, they started to get us because remember we came into the league '66. That was right. That was 21 years before I was born.
Yeah.
So you remember when they got Joe Green and all those pieces, and they were putting everything together. And they were able to build a championship team, and they were giving us problems.
Talk to you.
Yep.
What's going on?
Show talking to you. How's your show talking to you?
He see you.
What's going on, little
Say
one?
hey.
Hello. She getting shot. Look, she got shot as soon as you put that camera on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you raising a little Falcon fan, I see.
Yeah.
Good. But getting back to it, but we know the history of Pittsburgh. We know how they built their team. And I look at it like this. Remember, they started with Chuck Noll, and then they got Mean Joe Green was the first player that they got under that regime.
Yep.
And he cut a lot of the dead weight at that time. And look at what happened with the Falcons. We get Terry Fontenot. They finally are going to let him do what he does. You know, they had a general manager and a man by the name of Bill Nunn, rest in peace, one of the first black GMs in the league back in the day.
Yeah.
And you pretty much saw how he was aggressive in his moves and bringing in different players from different places that might have not made sense to a lot of people.
Right.
The same thing Terry did. Now, I'm not comparing Terry to him because that's a Hall of Fame GM with 4 Super Bowl rings in his back pocket, and he's got more than 8 Hall of Famers in the league that he picked. I want Terry to have a career like that with the Falcons. That's what I want.
And I think it's gonna happen too. What is it? Hold on, I'm gonna come in there and get you some.
You know what's funny about that? When you say, it was just so cute. Kids said she won't share the Play-Doh. Guess what? We don't need to share the football today. That's what I want. We don't need to share the. I want Pittsburgh fans crying. They won't give us a time of possession today.
Right.
That's what we need. We need one of those things where we have that. But man, it's just like the buzz around the city, from what I've been told. And a lot of my Falcon fans that I know that's up here in the Northeast with me, I mean, like, wow. That's just one of those things you can sit back, Wallace, and you look at like, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing when you make a couple of moves that are competent, and it's amazing when you have everything in place financially to make these moves, and you see the type of support that the Falcon fan base is giving. How do you feel today is going to go leading into the future of the Falcons?
I think this is a kind of good start for what Terry and his crew, his staff, been able to do for us, getting free agents and for us going towards the draft. So now, and like you say, now we got money to make moves. So now I just see it getting even better. And then now you're gonna have players that's gonna come on to play with the Falcons now.
And that's the thing that I'm looking for. And because think about it, we know Matthew Judon was brought in here as a pass rush specialist. We know this. But at the same time, as he said, the thing that I respected about Matthew Judon was this. I'm gonna earn my money. That's pretty much what he said. I'm not coming in here demanding money, and I haven't earned it yet. And that is something that you don't see around the league like that. You don't see it. So for my my X followers out there, I just posted the link in X for that follow the BirdCage LLC. I posted this for you guys so you can come in here, chop it up with us, because this is a segment for the fans. I'm always on camera with the magnificent BirdCage crew, K-Dub, Graybeard, Coach Cam, Coach Brant when he's around, and then you have it's just so many of us, Turbo, and then you got Meltdown in the back. They're gonna probably end up being on today. But man, when you look at everything that we have going, like, why do you think that the buzz around the city really picked up and the attitude of the Falcon fans have changed since we've made these type of moves, in your opinion, Wallace?
My opinion, I think when they went and got Kirk Cousins, that kind of give us that what we had with Matt Ryan that we've been missing. So now that we get that type of quarterback back, and we got all these, the young weapons around him, that put the new energy in the building. Because you can even tell in the practice a way Pitts was running his routes. Now, he wasn't running like that under Arthur Smith. Now with this new regime, and you watch him in practice, and Kurt is getting on him about, you need to be at this, when I get ready to throw the ball, this way you need to be, or you need to catch the ball with 2 hands or something like that. See, when you had a quarterback that could tell.
Or you need to lay out for a pass.
There you go, yeah.
You need to give some effort. because everything ain't gonna be perfect coming your way.
See, them other three quarterbacks wasn't doing that.
Matt was the only one who got him like that when Matt was here.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirk, I feel like this, even though Kirk didn't have the greatest playoff record,
right,
he's a damn good season quarterback.
Yes.
And people are trashing him. I'm like, y'all got to understand.
Right.
When have we been really respectable in the season?
Mm-hmm.
When have we been really respected? Now the playoffs with Kirk is a different story.
Right.
The verdict is still out. But during the season, I'm not worried. Kirk is gonna figure it out because we already know it's gonna be some. Because they didn't play in the preseason, we know it's gonna be a little rough starting. But I believe by the middle to the end of the game, there'll be a bit of consistency. But I still don't think that rhythm is gonna be there until probably the 5th or 6th game, Wallace. With the passing game, because we still are going to lean on that running game, but that passing game, I really believe that it's not going to hit until the 5th or 6th game. Now, a lot of people are kind of like, what do you mean it's going to? I say, you got to think about it. It's different doing it in practice and in the preseason. It's much different in the season because, again, the game is a lot faster. And the running joke that that I've had since you tuned in, you got dudes with full-grown beards with car seats in the back of their car.
You're right.
And they got to pay baby mamas. That's just what they got to do. So the energy is going to definitely be different when you have to compete in that sense. And then a lot of these new guys that just got the mortgages on their houses, they got to pay those bills. So again, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit different speed wise, but I think we're in a good space where we have, I think, just enough veterans in the locker room to help a lot of the younger guys out. And the good thing is we got some veterans that have played on Super Bowl teams in this locker room, or they've played in the playoffs or gone deep into the playoffs. And I think that makes a world of a difference when you look at what we're trying to accomplish right now.
Yep. And then you got Justin Simmons. That's a dog that he's never played in the playoffs. So now he's trying to help get us to the playoffs so he can play in one.
I describe Justin Simmons as to me, I feel like this, Wallace, and you might laugh when I say this. Justin Simmons is like a lion that's never had zebra meat.
There you go.
That's the best. The playoffs is like a zebra or an antelope. That man been eating grass and berries, and he ain't never had a true piece of zebra thigh, or he ain't never had an antelope steak, or a buffalo steak. That's the best way to describe it.
Yep, you're right.
He's starving to get into the playoffs. Jesse Bates played in the Super Bowl. So did Grady Jarrett.
Yep.
Matthew Judon has been deep into the playoffs on this defense.
So
when you look at it, you got guys that's got this experience.
Right.
Jake Matthews is our only offensive lineman that's been in the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Everybody else has been brought in.
Yep.
Now, I'll say this. I need Nate. Like I said, I know I get on him all the time, but I need McGarry really to step up in the passing game today.
Yeah.
Because he's got to protect Kirk Cousins' blind side. Now, I know a lot of people are itching to see Michael Penix Jr. because of the flashes that you saw, and people are willing to go through the growing pains with the rookie right now. I would rather him not touch the field just yet.
Me neither.
I'm ready for him to play. I'm gonna be real. I'm ready for him to play, but not yet. Not
yet.
Just yet.
Nope. He just need to sit and watch and learn this year.
Because he's gonna see the difference in speed and game speed with how it goes. Because again, Steve Young said it the best. He said, I was fighting for survival when I was in Tampa. After he left the old USFL, he said, I fought for survival. I went to San Francisco. As much as it pissed me off to sit behind Joe Montana and I was itching and the controversy was there, he said, I learned a lot from it. I learned how to, he said, and think about it. Jim McMahon, Steve Young sat behind two quarterbacks that won Super Bowls. One was in college. Jim McMahon was his college quarterback. So he sat behind Jim McMahon during his time at BYU, which was frustrating because Steve was a good college quarterback as well, too. And then when he gets to the NFL, or he goes to the USFL, he makes that money. He starts. Then he goes to Tampa, and he literally gets beat to a pulp. He goes to Frisco, and he sits. and really became a rookie all over again.
Yep.
And we see what type of career he ended up having, being a left-handed quarterback, just like Michael Penix Jr., being able to run and scramble, Michael Penix Jr., and having very good accuracy and a very good deep ball when he throws it. I see a lot of, and I tell people like this, I believe Michael Penix Jr.'s throwing motion is like Warren Moon's, but his scrambling ability reminds me of Steve Young. I think Wallace stepped out for a second.
No,
I think he's going to. Okay.
No, I'm here.
No, you good. But Wallace, I really feel as if the best is yet to come from this young guy. The best is yet to come. What do you feel? Because I don't, like I said, we know Cousins is coming off the Achilles. He looked good in the practices. But if he's not 100% and you start seeing him waver, when do you think we see Michael Penix Jr. if he's not already at that point of being ready? Because he's still an investment. That's $180 million. $100 million up front.
I think Kirk been ready. That's what I think. He been ready. He was just, building up. So when the game start today, I don't see no wavering on that leg.
And K-Dub said it the best. He said, look, if he ain't ready, we got somebody in the wings who want to be ready to go.
Right.
And he'll go get it. We got a competent quarterback that'll throw the ball.
And that's what's going to make Kurt play like he was when in Minnesota. Because now he had that boy sitting behind him. That's why he didn't miss no reps when OTA started. He was right out there. Because he got Penix behind him. So if he didn't miss any OTA, now if we didn't get Penix, then we probably wouldn't have seen Kurt in OTAs. We probably would have went and saw him to probably camp time. But when they went and got Penix, now that put pressure on
him. And they always say, if you ain't up to snub with the job and you ain't doing your job, Jared Glanville said it the best. NFL stands for not for long.
That's right. You got somebody waiting to take your position.
And I like the way the direction the management moved, because at this point, they're not trying to pick high. That's telling you something. We're not trying to pick high. Now, if we end up picking high, that's because we mortgaged something to go get something.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
And I believe Terry would do that if it was a player out there of that caliber to go get.
Yeah.
And I gotta give a shout out to all my college football fans out here too. You're a college football fan too, right, Wallace?
Yeah.
Who's your squad, man?
That UGA all day.
That's right. Hey, we got Kentucky next week, man. We definitely got to do a little. We're gonna start doing a little segment for college football pretty soon. So you gotta stay tuned for that too.
All right. Well, they gonna get drugged next week because they let South Carolina drag them. They about to get a worse dragging come next week.
Now I'll say this for all my college football fans out here. Some Saturdays are gonna be tough. Some Saturdays are gonna be lovely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're rocking with these Falcons right now, we all gonna have good Sundays with this new regime we got. I'm telling you now. So if you're an Alabama fan and you were sick about how y'all look bad against USF and y'all got that win, y'all drug that win out of nowhere, guess what? You got the Falcons now. That's gonna make it a little bit more comforting for you. I think y'all might need to stop scheduling USF on y'all schedule. They give y'all problems every time y'all
every year. This is the second year they done played them and they don't struggle. And it just happened in the fourth quarter. They just opened it up.
Let's be real. If that USF quarterback could have connected on those 3 deep passes that he missed, he had 3 shots that he missed, they would have beat Alabama.
Yeah.
That's 20. Think about it. That's 21 points he left on the field. So again, I'm not gonna trash him or whatnot. We're gonna talk about one of the big games yesterday. We got a Texas running back, and then we also got a Texas defensive lineman here. And Texas just went into Michigan, and they just stomped
the mud hole them
and walked it dry. Michigan is not who they were last year.
That's right.
Harbaugh ain't there. And I feel bad for Sharon Moore because guess what? They already trying to fire him after what happened yesterday.
And I'm gonna tell you another one get fired too. Notre Dame Freeman, he gonna get fired. He keep on.
Remember, he lost to Marshall in his first year.
Yeah, and then you gonna
Now
use
you lose to Northern Illinois.
right.
Woo! That's a no-no. But look, we all right with that because guess what?
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about them Irish not playing in a.
That's
they
right.
don't have a conference championship.
No,
they were gonna automatically get in because of their record. But guess what? I got 2 more losses gonna happen on that schedule, Wallace.
Yeah,
I think USC gonna get them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be somebody in the ACC that's gonna surprise them and beat them.
Yep.
But I thought that was a great game. Iowa State was a very good game. Iowa had that game won, and they gave it up at the end, as you saw.
Yeah, they showed did.
And I mean, if you look at some of the guys that we've drafted, they've come from all these places. Ruka Roro and Grady out of Clemson. They pretty much stomped the mud hole and who they played yesterday. So again, when you look at the college systems that we're getting players from, we're going for guys that are developed.
Yeah.
That's what we've been getting in. And also, I see someone trying to get in. Go ahead and try to get back in if you're trying to get in. I just saw a picture pop up. It's all good. You want to come through. But I feel like this, man. The way that the Falcons are going to continue to keep the success going off season, we're going to continue to go after places that develop players. Can't just, as much as a lot of us want to see more Georgia Bulldogs come here, if they don't fit the scheme, I understand.
Right.
I love my dogs. I'd love to see more of them come here. But if they don't fit what we're doing in our skill set and scheme, I understand why they passed over them. Now, I think we should be going in our backyard a little bit more. I'm just being honest. If we can go down to University of Florida and get stuff up out of there, you need to be able to come in your backyard in Athens and go get somebody. I'm just saying. And I'll be honest with you. That kid, Eford out of Georgia Tech, that middle linebacker. Now, I'm not even a Georgia Tech fan, but Wallace, I would not mind having him, hey, man, just come on across the street. We right over here. Just come on across the street and bring him right over here to Atlanta because that kid is a bona fide middle linebacker.
Well, like they say, if we ain't looking to draft high, you never know if they on that back end, may be able to bring them in.
So what type of players would you want, other players that you would want to bring in for the future? Because we already know that we getting some players that are getting up in age and there are veterans or whatnot, but we also understand that this is a business. What players would you want to come into Atlanta if we could bring the type of players that you would think that would help out this organization?
I think the next two should probably be another offensive tackle. Cause Matthews getting a little long in the tooth, and then once Penix gets here, we probably gonna need to, instead of getting that strong left tackle, we probably gonna need that strong right tackle to be able to protect Penix side.
I think we need to go get a cornerback too, Wallace. That's something else I've been saying.
Yeah, I think that's another.
I like Clark Phillips III, but I'll be honest with you. I like him in that nickel spot, if you really want to be honest. Him and D. Alford, I think that's a great rotation, and I think they really would help. But I think getting a top corner, I think would be the next great move that we can make when you talk about in the draft for next season. Because there was a plethora of corners that that we passed up on. And another thing is, I think we could get another good wide receiver too. Another true number. I mean, we signed guys, but I'm saying, well, we can draft the guy and make him homegrown like Drake. He grows up in the franchise. You know what I'm saying?
So like you say, so now if we ain't drafting high, now we better get those guys on that back end. If they still sitting there on the board in the second round or third round, boom, we go get them.
Another position I'd like to draft, I'd like to go get another guard. I like to go get another guard as well. We already got Lindstrom. We got Bergeron, but I think we need to get more depth on the offensive line where you got guys who can start anywhere in the NFL, but we have the depth because 17 games is a long season.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have guys that are going to always be able to protect our future players. And like you said, you can never have enough defensive linemen either. That's something else. I'm okay with always taking one. I'm okay with that, even if it's later.
Yeah,
because as we saw, Durlis got hurt earlier this year. I'm sorry, not Durlis. Trice got hurt.
Trice, yeah.
Trice got hurt. And I hated seeing him go down. I hated it because he was poised to have. He had a mean streak in him that I haven't seen since we saw Big Chuck Smith on that side or Lester Archambault.
Because I think he was working. They were gonna make him the starter on one of them.
I agree.
On one of them ends.
I think I'll be honest with you. I think he had a motor. If I had to compare him to any Falcon player from the past, I would compare him to Chuck Smith.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the movements, the size, the aggression, like Chuck Smith is a nice dude off the field. If you ever met him, he's a nice guy, funny, but it's when he put that helmet on, Chuck Smith became a totally different dude.
Yep.
You know, and I make the jokes and I laugh about a lot of stuff, but man, what's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be a plethora of wide receivers coming out within the next 2 to 3 years.
Yes, it is.
And we're talking about getting another wide receiver to pair with Drake, and Drake's gonna get his money, of course. But I would say I'm looking at Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State right now. I'm looking at the kid that's at Alabama, that's the 17-year-old right now.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at these guys who are at these schools right now that's balling. Heck, I would even look at, I know this might surprise you when I say this, he ain't gonna be a high draft pick, but I would bring him in because of what I've seen so far. I would go get a London Humphreys if you get him in the third or fourth. I get him in the fourth or fifth round.
Yeah.
That's just me. And if you can, this is my thing. If you can shine at Vanderbilt, if you can shine at Vanderbilt, and then you go to University of Georgia, and you have the top receivers nervous about their job, I'm willing to take you.
Yeah, throw him right in the slot.
Another guy I would look at drafting is a Dylan Bell because you're talking about another Cordell Patterson type of player.
Yeah,
good speed, can play running back, can play receiver, so many things. He can throw the football too. So, but I'm not gonna keep this thing going. I definitely look forward to having you on after the ball game for this party line edition that we have, Wallace, because we're gonna get ready for this ball game, and I'll be back for halftime, as you know. So I definitely look forward to having you and all you viewers that's out there.
Yeah, I'll be back on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Wallace. Hey, y'all viewers out there, please always check out the new pregame show that we have called now the Pregame Meal. This is going to be before every ball game, and you got a chance to come in like Wallace just did just now and just chop it up, just a regular conversation. Nothing big, nothing crazy. Talk about anything you want when it comes to football. We definitely can talk about it, especially when it comes to the Falcons. So I'll see you guys at halftime. My score prediction today, I got to say 28-14 Falcons. So y'all enjoy the ball game. We'll see you at halftime, and we're also going to see you for the party line a little bit later, ladies and gentlemen. I love you. We'll see you later, and y'all stay safe out there and make it hostile as hell for these damn Pittsburgh Steelers fans. This is the Birdcage. We out of here.